Can you hear me? Is my audio clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Uh, I know that some of you are wondering, I was named Beatrice, but I am male in front of you. Well, Beatrice is my pageant name, so, but you can also call me Benz. And as what mentioned by Sean, I am an educator and English teacher, both in elementary and junior high school. And today, I was tasked to talk about body shaming 101, or more of the types of body shaming. So let me just share my screen. All right. So again, no, for tonight, we are going to talk about body shaming. So, but before we proceed to that, let's set our ground rules for this session first. So, number one, we listen and respect everyone when they are speaking, and when we are responding. So, for this session, we expect that we all respect one another in order for us to build a good communication and connection throughout this session. Next, we don't have to participate in any activities or questions which make us feel uncomfortable. So, and you have the what do you call it? You have the freedom to participate, or you may not choose to participate or answer questions that you think or you feel uncomfortable with. And then you are also not expected to share our own personal experiences, but you are also free to do so without judgment if you want. And lastly, when we talk about friend or someone, we just use the term friend or someone we know instead of using their real names if we want to share their experiences or stories. So let's start with this activity first. Last night, I asked Mr. Jillian de Guzman to uh, ask the participant to prepare a marker, a pencil, or a pen. So whatever you have in you, no, may it be a marker or a pen or pencil together with a paper, kindly write your biggest insecurity or insecurities. You are not obliged to share it with us. You may keep it with you, no, just siguro for a minute or two. I'll give you some time uh, to write there on your paper your biggest insecurity or insecurities, whatever you have. Sige po. All right. Sige po. Now, let's set the paper aside and put it somewhere where we can find it easily later. No? So, tabi muna natin yan and then balikan natin yan na. Okay? Okay, let's begin our first session with the question, what does body image mean to you? So, this, according to dictionary and some online sources, body image refers to how an individual sees their own body and how attractive they feel themselves to be. Other definition would say that body image refers to a person's emotional attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions of their own body. Um, when we talk about body image, it somehow relates to what we believe about our appearance, about how we feel with our body, our height, our weight, and the shape of our face. It also relates to the sense and control we as a person, or our control with our body as we move around. So with these perceptions, with these beliefs, many people have now a lot of concerns about their body, diba? Because of these perceptions, because of the standards, we create concerns about the body image. And these concerns no, focus on our weight, on our skin, hair, or even the shape or size of a certain body part. And I hope, diba, I hope there's one time in your life that you would question yourself, why do I look like this? Or why is my nose so big? Why is my shoulder broad? Something like that. And that is because we have created the body image, no, yung ideal body image that we see from other people. Now, did you ever stop and think about how often you are told to change your appearance? Diba? There is there's always a time, may it be our friends or our family, and they would question, or they would ask us to change the way we look, the way we dress, our lifestyle and everything. And there are times no that we might take it positively, but most of the time with people, because it affects mentally also, we might sometimes take it negatively as well. So we are often seeing magazines, advertisements, and YouTube videos. And these constantly offer tips about how to lose weight in days, or appear slimmer instantly and hide our imperfections without actually knowing anything about us, much less our appearance. And this is one of the biggest example of body shaming. And we all know for a fact that it is everywhere. Back. The magazines that we use, or even the advertisements, may it be in social media or in national television, these advertisements and such no, are actually examples of body shaming. Why? Because they set the standard of an ideal body, where in fact we know that not everyone can really get that ideal body type. No, and so what's so negative about it is we take it as if we consider it as some type of an experience, not like TV shows, diba? Where there are also TV shows, films, and sitcoms that we frequently see in the television that use overweight characters' bodies as the basis of many jokes, diba? And it has become the norm to criticize aspects of our bodies. So let's talk about body shaming. What is body shaming? According to Oxford Dictionary, body shaming is the action or practice of humiliating someone by making mocking or critical comments about their body shape or size. So this definition is a defamatory act, a bullying act, and it has become prominent in recent times. Diba? Based from the video that was played earlier, and based from what Mr. Sean mentioned, diba? in this recent times, in the modern times, we usually see, no, mockery and critical comments. We see and hear mockery and critical comments about um, people, other people's body, and sometimes we also do it nga eh. Like parang out of, out of consciousness, we may be practicing. Now, according to Merriam Dictionary, the act body shaming is the act or practice of subjecting someone to criticism or mockery for supposed bodily faults or imperfections. And this body shaming is actually the leading cause of depression, especially amongst women who are prone to body changes in relation to age and birth. No, na, now I don't want to be gender biased, but we know for a fact that many women are experiencing body shaming. But of course, no, we cannot deny the fact that men also are experiencing body shaming, diba? And like I said earlier, to those with weak personality, or with not that people with not enough those who do not have strong strength, no, to absorb this kind of criticisms, sometimes it leads them to depression, to stress, or mental disorders. That's why body shaming is something that we should uh, eradicate in our society. Another definition of body shaming is it is defined as the act of making inappropriate and negative comments about another person's weight or size. So this is according to LifeWorks community. So based from these three definitions, the common denominator of body shaming is uh, looking for the imperfection of someone else's body type. No, that is the common denominator of body shame. Now, why do people body shame? I'm sure that there are different reasons why these people body shame, and one of this is bullying. Now, body shamers are most likely the bullies, diba? And why are they bullying? Because these persons, they derive pleasure from belittling or victimizing other people. No? And when we say bullies, they come in all shapes and sizes. And sometimes, no, they body shape. Pero when we try to look, when you figure out or find out who these bullies are, we can see that they they too are not perfect. They too have imperfections. So why they bully? Because they don't want to be bullied. So they do it to others instead. And then another reason is to take out their frustration. People body shame because they want to take out the frustration on anyone. And unfortunately, it just happened that you are the next available person. So you were the victim of body shame. Third reason why people body shame is because of a low self-esteem. We all know that not everyone is confident, not everyone can face people or different types of people, and this is actually one reason why people body shame, because they feel inferior about their own body, so they don't want to feel that, to remove that inferiority, they choose to body shame. And then there's just people who are being mean, like um we encounter these types of people na wala, they are born to be mean talaga. So it's in their nature to be mean. That's why they body shame. So in all aspects of life, that's just how they are. So that is something we cannot do about. But maybe if you can talk to them, or face them, uh, confront them face to face, maybe something would change. And then lastly, the I am superior feeling. There are people, no, in our society who think that they have the ideal body type, and so they feel like they are superior because they think of themselves like the perfect person with a perfect body type. So because I am perfect, you cannot see any imperfection in all aspects of my body, in all parts of my body. I am perfect. So they consider themselves superior, and because they are superior, it is very easy for them to body shame. So these uh 5 reasons I mentioned are not all the reasons. I'm sure there are a lot more, but these are, I think, the most common reasons why people body shame. And we are constantly being told by strangers, family, and friends alike about how we should look or how we should behave, even what our bodies should be like. Diba? And because of this, body shaming manifests in many ways. So I have your 3 manifestations of body shaming. First is we criticize our own appearance through a judgment or comparison to another person. Kasi nga we heard from we heard from a family member, or we heard from our friends, or we heard from someone we know lang na you should look like this, or you should look like you should your body should be like this or like that and all. And because of what we heard, yeah, comparison happens na. So you criticize your body na when you look at the mirror. Oh, I think she's right. I should have this kind of body. I should have this kind of face. So we criticize na our appearance by comparing ourselves to other people, which should not, no, which should not happen. Dapat hindi ganon. No, yeah, thank you. Let's continue. So let's try not to criticize our appearance. We should be the very first person to uplift ourselves instead of criticizing ourselves. So let's do away with the comparison thing. No, let's try uplifting and praising ourselves, kasi that's one way that we can do, no, to eradicate, no, body shaming. Start We must start with ourselves. And then another manifestation is we may not want to criticize our own appearance, so we criticize another's appearance in front of them. No, this is another example or one way of body shaming, na for you it's not negative kasi you're parang for you you're just stating a fact, or you're just telling him or her the truth. However, commenting on someone else's appearance in front of them is actually an act of mockery. Kasi parang you don't have any right. Just like I don't have any right. I'm not actually in a position to talk about this. Pero I was tasked. So I take the opportunity and I feel honored. No? So like that, we do not have the right to critic or to comment on someone else's appearance, physical appearance. Kasi it's their appearance, it's their body. So they should be the one to notice, or to what do you call it? They are the ones to notice and uh to know exactly what to do with their appearance. So, not us, no? Hindi tayo. Wag natin silang pangunahan, kumbaga. So let's give them the benefit of deciding what to do with their appearance. And then what's even worse is hindi mockery pala yung pag-confront sa kanila. Mockery pala yung pag-comment ng physical appearance nila in front of them. So, because it's mockery, would you rather critique their appearance without their knowledge? That's even worse, no? Kasi it's like talking behind their backs. No? So this is a worst case. So we should not comment in front of them, and we should never comment or criticize another person's appearance without their knowledge as well. No, kasi pareho lang yung negative. Pareho lang yung mockery. Pareho lang yung act of body shaming. So no matter how this manifests, it often leads to comparison and shame. And it perpetuates the idea that people should be judged mainly for their physical features. No? Ito yung nake-create niya na ganun pala yung factor ng ganun pala kataas yung factor ng physical features. Ganun pala kaimportante ang physical appearances. No? So this is something, no, this kind of perception is something that must be stopped. That must be that must be confronted and stopped right away. Kasi it doesn't help any individual and it doesn't help our society as well. So what are the types of body shaming? Actually, I'm not really sure if these are all the types, pero when I researched about body shaming, these are the things I have found regarding the types of body shaming. So first is yung fat shaming. Fat shaming is the most common. No, parang it talks about, when you say fat shaming, we are criticizing the weight of the body. Like for example, me, a lot of people are telling me na, oh, you're so mataba na, parang mag-boss-boss ka na ng kain, ang laki-laki mo na. Para ka ng mama sa itsura mo. Like 'di ba, parang very conscious, no, sa weight. Talagang ang focus ng fat shaming is yung bigat mo as a person, yung timbang mo, yung laki ng build ng katawan mo, no? Yun yung focus ng fat shaming. Another example is yung skinny shaming. When you say skinny shaming naman, 'di ba, there are people na no matter what they eat, no matter how much they eat, they don't get fat talaga. Kasi it's their built na eh. Bad built na ng katawan nila yun eh. Na talagang slim lang sila, no? Kahit na ang dami nila. Tapos, ang madalas na nagiging critic sa kanila, siguro nagda-drugs ka, that's why you don't get fat. Kahit anong kainin mo, siguro nagda-drugs ka, siguro user ka, 'di ba? So skinny shaming, no? Ito this is something that should not happen. Let's accept the fact that there are people who may eat less but they really get fat kasi they're built na and their metabolism is not that fast. Hindi talaga ganun kabilis yung metabolism nila. That's why they gain weight easily. Kahit na konti lang yung kinakain nila. And there are people also na no matter how much they eat, they don't get fat, they don't gain weight. No, they don't gain weight because of their metabolism. Mabilis yung metabolism nila. And that is something that we should accept. Hindi natin pwede sabihin, oh my gosh, reasons. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Kasi that's a fact. No, depende yan eh, 'di ba? Yung build ng katawan natin, it depends on the genes and our heredity. So, this is something na dapat tinatanggap natin at hindi natin ini-invalidate. And then there is also what we call pretty shaming. Ano ibig sabihin ng pretty shaming? When we say pretty shaming, I don't know if some of you have experienced this. Pero when we talk about pretty shaming, ito yung madalas na pasalamat ka, maganda ka. Diba? What do you mean? If hindi siya maganda, wala nang ibang maganda sa kanya? Is that what you mean? So, marami sa atin, akala natin kapag maganda or gwapo, hindi na nakakaranas ng mga ng body shaming. But we cannot deny the fact na marami talagang mali sa society natin. So kahit maganda ka at gwapo ka, you can still experience body shaming. And some example nga nito is yung ganyan, buti na lang maganda ka or buti na lang gwapo ka kasi kung 'di ba parang 'di ba ang ano nito, para ito yung isa din sa tawag nito, isa din sa mga na-experience no ng mga kapwa natin na akala natin pag tiningnan natin sila, oh, they're very privileged. They don't experience body shaming. Pero um, we really do not know their story. So let's not judge. And then meron din tayo, we also have yung body hair shaming. 'Di ba there are people na yung anong tawag nito? Yung ang bilis talagang tumubo ng body hair nila sa katawan. And then there are also people naman na hindi talaga sila tinutuban. Like for example, me, um, my father kasi is someone na wala talaga siyang ano, hindi makapal yung buhok niya sa binte, sa body, even sa armpit. Wala siyang masyadong buhok sa kilikili. And then naman ako yun. So ako wala akong buhok sa kilikili. And I was being shamed with that. Na parang, ba yan lalaki yung katawan mo pero wala kang buhok sa kilikili. Parang ganon. And then there are people naman or females na masyadong makapal yung buhok sa kilikili. Pero parang kasalanan ba nila yon? Is that their fault? Na ganun yung body type nila? Na ganun yung body hair type nila? Di ba hindi? So, and because that's not their fault, let's not shame them for that. No? Instead, let's accept them for having that. Kasi we might know baka yan yung swerte nila, di ba? And then food shaming. Food shaming is something that I experience most of the time. Kasi when you say food shaming, ito yung, o tama na yan, ayan na naman kinakain mo, kaya ka lumalaki. O ayan na naman kakainin mo, kaya ka tumataba. Yung ganon, parang they are depriving you to eat something that you like. Diba? But that's also body shaming pala. That's also type of body shaming pala. Yung food shaming. So, let's avoid, no? Kasi tayo, baka malay natin, no? Nagagawa pala natin to sa mga kasama natin, hindi natin alam. So, now that we know, siguro we could try to lessen or better yet, avoid this kind of body shaming na let's not deprive someone we know to eat or have something or do something that he or she wants to do. And then racism, no? 'Di ba? Ito very rampant sa social media, no? Minsan ganito yung nangyayari kapag wala tayong makitang imperfections, you look at the skin color and then yun yung tatargetin natin. 'Di ba? Racism or yung kung hindi yung skin color nila, yung origin nila mismo. 'Di ba? Ay, ba yan, mga Indian, mga hindi naliligo. So, something like that. Ay mga ano, ay mabaho yan kasi Korean, hindi yan mga naliligo. 'Di ba? Ganun yung mga naririnig natin madalas. We should not be. Or ano pa, ay mga Aita, madudungis yan, mga ganyan. So, dapat alisin natin yan sa pag-iisip natin na whatever the race of a person is, we have no right to judge them or criticize them, no? Ito din yung ang dami-daming nag-a-advocate dito ng yung parang adversity and eme-eme. Pero makikita mo parang hindi naman visible yung yung promote ng race ng yung i-promote yung equal treatment whatever race you have kasi nakikita mo naman parang hindi naman masyadong napapractice. Diba? So, let's avoid racism. And then lastly is what we call the sexism. Ito, pag sinabi nating sexism, yung gender, no? Minsan we are being shut down because of our gender, especially the LGBTQ community. Diba? Kapag nalaman nila that you're a member of a, you know, if you are a member of the LGBTQ community, parang there are most of the time, no, may it be, inside your company or wherever you are, diba? Na-experience natin to na because of our gender, we are being shut down, no, we are being what do you call it, deprived, or we are out. They won't give us the freedom to speak up because of because of our gender. So that's also a type of body shape. And I know that these are not all. There are a lot more, but for now, these are something or the things that I could share with you. So I hope you are learning, and let's proceed. Now, how do we overcome body shaming? We know, no, alam naman natin, we are all familiar with what body shaming is. Alam na natin kung how it manifests. Alam na natin yung different types niya. How do we overcome them? So number one is we have to be authentic to ourselves. When we say authentic to ourselves, we use affirmation. No, let's affirm ourselves. Let's comfort ourselves. Let's give ourselves self-love. Let's build our own self-confidence. Let's remind ourselves of our self-worth. Parang masyadong selfish. No, it's not selfish. It's actually being selfless. Kasi when you practice and master self-love, building your own self-confidence, when you practice giving yourselves a self-affirmation and self-appreciation, that's the only time you can give appreciation, affirmation, and love for others. So everything must come to yourself first. Hangga't hindi ka marunong magbigay ng love sa sarili mo, hangga't hindi ka marunong mag-appreciate ng sarili mo, you can never do that to other people. Kasi di ba nga, there is a saying, you cannot give what you can have. You cannot give what you don't have, I mean. So kung wala ka niyan, how will you give it to others? Diba? So you start with yourself. No? Try to, every morning or every evening or whenever you are free, look at the mirror, talk to yourself, affirm yourself, appreciate yourself, give yourself some love, and then build your own self-confidence. So with that, I'm sure you will be more positive. You will have uh, a more or a better perception about what life is, about the world, and with that, I'm sure you'll be able to develop appreciation towards other people. No? And then you have to identify who in your life is body positive. Pag sinabi nating body positive, no matter what your imperfection is, you don't mind. Parang baliwala lang sa'yo. Alam mo, you know that you have imperfections, pero you see it in a positive way. You look at it in a positive way. And with that, you can say that you are body positive. So if you are not yet body positive, maybe you can look for someone who is body positive. So you may think of people who celebrate their body for what it can do, and people who refuse to comment on others' physical appearances. A lot of people are a lot of people body shame. Marami sa atin. Mas madali kasi talaga yun eh, di ba? Yung mag-body shame instead of appreciating someone. No? Pero I'm sure there are a lot more who are positive with their bodies. And we must look for them because they can help us. No? They can help us appreciate our own body. And then, we confront those who perpetuate body shame. No, parang mas nakakaano din to eh, mas nakakagaan. Although hindi madali na mag-confront ng tao, pero mas nakakagaan ng pakiramdam kapag nagawa mo na siya. No, na talk to those people na nakikita mo ang dali-dali lang para sa kanila mag-body shame. Talk to them, alamin mo bakit nila ginagawa yun, and you'll learn from them. And lastly, we find something or some things you like about your body. Because there are many reasons why you should like your own body. No? Ang dami. Sobrang daming dahilan. Sobrang daming dahilan para mahalin mo yung sarili mong pagkatao. Sobrang daming dahilan para ipakita mo na imperfect ka, imperfect yung appearance mo, pero you're you. And no one in this world can replace you. Kasi ikaw na yan. Wala nang ibang makakapalit dyan. Kasi ikaw lang yan. Okay? So, you have, so remember this four. This might actually help you in the future. No? Spend time with people who are positive. No? Because it will be helpful. No matter how struggling you are, once you get to know people who are body positive, once to get to know people who perpetuate body shaming and ask them why they do that, you will learn from them, and they can also learn from you once you share with them what you know about body shaming. And uh, this what do you call this? These four activities that you may do can actually be your simple steps towards a more positive perception about your own body, about our society, and even no, a more positive view about the world. So we have to remember that it is your body and no one should have the power to make you feel bad about it. So be bold, be secure in who you are. No? Now I want you to get back the piece of paper I asked you to write in your biggest insecurities. And this time, have a final look at them. Siguro mga for 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, for final, look at them finally. And then when you are ready, crumple that paper and forget about your insecurities. No? Let's start to be more positive about ourselves. Let's start to spread positivity towards other people, because there is too much trouble in the world already. Let's not add body shaming to it. Again, this is Benz Deloso saying thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned from me. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bata. So, for those who have questions, please raise your hand. You have an option.
Sean, we're not hearing you.
Hello? How about now? Hello, hello? Okay. How about this time? Can you hear me?
Your camera is off.
Okay. There. Thank you again, Basha. So, if you guys have questions for Basha, feel free to raise your hands. Raise your hand. So you'll have an option to do that. So may I know who are those people who have questions, please? So anyone? Okay, we have Darren Kent. So Darren, yeah, what's your question for Basha, please?
Hello guys. I have question lang. Kasi I have noticed that height um is not part of the type of body shaming which na diniscuss kanina. So what do you think should be height is part of of body shaming, and what is your point of view? I'm not generalizing all women pero on a feminist point of view, parang sa kanila it's okay lang to say na I'm looking for a guy pero ayoko ng mas maliit sa akin, ayoko ng ganyan. Pero pag yung mga men naman na nagsabi ng I'm looking for a woman pero ayoko ng ganitong size, ganyan. Parang sa kanila it's offensive na, pero why yung impact with regard to the height compared to the weight is different? Or it should be the same ba? Or may I know your point of view regarding this?
Thank, thank you, Darren. I'm sorry. I may not have focused on the height, pero I think I have included that in some of my slides. Na I don't know, I forgot lang. Kung na-mention ko siya. Pero, yes, height is actually part of body shaming. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Darren, for reminding us. Now, you're asking me about my point of view dun sa yung, anong tawag nito? Girls, women's type, height type with regards to men and vice versa. Tama ba?
Yes, parang for me lang parang may double standard eh.
Oo. Well, if you're going to ask me, I think yung height na yan, na parang they see it as their, ano, di ba, parang, ano yun, standard, no? We call it the standard kasi. And actually, that is something na, well, negative, no? Kasi nga, part na siya ng body shaming. So, it's actually negative to set a standard, no, towards women or towards men. Why? Because we all know that not all men are tall and we all know that not all women are short. Diba? Kasi nga we have different heights. Now, my point of view regarding that is maybe if we are able to influence, no, these people who have those kinds of standards, maybe if we are able to influence them and tell them that standards is something that should not be manifested. Maybe we could have, or we could somehow remove the stereotype of a man should be taller than a woman, or a woman should be shorter than a man for them to be called a perfect couple. Kasi being in a perfect relationship, there's no such thing as perfect relationship, by the way. Pero to be in a good relationship, height should not matter. It should be about accepting both of you, accepting your sides, may it be good sides or bad sides. So yeah, there. I think it's all about influence and siguro giving them enough information. Why should standards not be a basis of choosing a man or a woman you would like to be in the future? There. I hope I have answered your question, Mr. Darren.
Thank you. Actually, yung height kasi nakasulat sa paper ko kaya yun yung insecurity.
Oo. Well,
Thank you.
oo.